guys, welcome to another isolation edition of the CGA podcast. I'm your host Sam Hall, back with me again as always, Nick Daines. And our special guest today, we have Jamie McCullum, aka Jamie Creates. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. Thanks very much for having me on.
No problem. So we just done about 5 minutes of this podcast and then realised I wasn't recording. So we've got to kind of go over the same conversation all over again. But let's start with how you got into videography. Because I was saying that for myself, just before the lockdown, I picked up a camera and just started filming some footage to put together. And I didn't realise that there was anyone, apart from Stuart Cooper, obviously, who was doing kind of filming and video editing and vlogging, anything to do with Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And then as soon as I searched, you were the first name that came up, and I started watching your videos and just kind of loved them from there. So how did you get started?
I appreciate that. Thanks very much for checking them out and having a look. But I was essentially the same. So I started training Jiu Jitsu the start of 2013. And at the time, you know, you jump on, you want to learn as much as you can. So I was jumping on YouTube, searching for, you know, Jiu Jitsu training and Jiu Jitsu highlight videos. And then you come across Stuart Cooper. And at the time you're like, okay, this is another guy in the UK who does this kind of work. This is pretty cool, and his videos that he put together are absolutely amazing. I was a wee bit sort of involved in I started doing a wee bit of fitness as well back then, so I was watching a lot of like fitness YouTubers, and I quite like the vlogging style that people were doing. And that's one thing that I like Stuart's videos for. Is purely because he would document a trip. And one that really stands out for me was I believe it was an ADCC trip that he was doing, and it was like a three-part video, and it was amazing. And I was like, there's nobody in Scotland that does this. Absolutely no one. So it just started from there. It started out with a GoPro, just filming rows in the gym. And guys just would message me afterwards going, okay, can you send me that footage? I'd like to watch it back. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, man, not a problem. It was very sort of raw. There was nothing really to it. There was people shouting in the background, you know, all that kind of stuff that goes on. And the more and more I done it, I then picked up a DSLR. Not very long after that. Because I knew that people wanted it, so I may as well just try it, see how far I go. If anything, it's a learning experience. Started filming in the gym, started watching YouTube and how to edit as well on Premiere Pro, and I just dove straight into the deep end essentially.
It's the best way to learn, I think. Sometimes,
it is.
You just throw yourself in. It's a bit like jiu-jitsu, isn't it? It's kind of like you throw yourself in and see what happens, and then that's kind of how you learn.
Exactly. And I mean, I started putting all my videos on YouTube as well, so I mean, even my very first ones that I ever shot are still up there. Looking back on them now, I cringe watching them. So they are so bad. It's so bad, but it's all learning. And I mean, it's done some very good things for me so far. I've been able to meet people that I only ever dreamed about meeting. And now that COVID happened, I've not done anything this year.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
I know. But it has been very good.
It is. It's really fun, and like it's exactly like you said. Like you couldn't watch your own videos. I done like 2 videos from my own club. Like one, I did like an open mat class, and I did and I filmed like a Thursday evening session, and put them together. And the first one I filmed was a Thursday evening, but from the difference from the Thursday evening video to my Saturday video, like I think that the difference is massive. But I know that if I carry on, I look back in a year, I'm going to look at that Saturday video and I'll be like, oh God, what was I doing? I can see how like the more you do it, the better, the more structured it becomes, the easier it gets, the better it becomes.
Yeah, exactly. When you first start out, it's more so you just turn on the camera. You don't really think about, at least for me, I never really thought about lighting. I never thought about audio. I just turned on the camera and just recorded people rolling. I didn't know if I was recording in HD. I didn't know. I didn't know any of this to start off with. And then it's slowly, as I progressed, I started finding more people within, the overall videography community, even outside of jiu-jitsu that helped, figure out my settings. I would learn off them. And yeah, as you say, you look at, you go down that road and you film a lot more. And then if you look back at that first one and you cringe at it, you've progressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look back at it and go, that was amazing, then
that's better than what I'm doing now.
That's exactly like jiu-jitsu though. When we sat down with Sam's brother Ian and looked back at some of Sam and Ian's competitions from like 2011, and Ian was like, in every single one of those situations that you see me there, I would do something different today.
I wouldn't do anything the same.
Nothing I would do the same.
Whereas I looked back and was like, I think I'm better then.
I still think, God, I haven't used that X guard for ages.
I competed a few times, but no, never again. I look back in that and I swear I would never do it again.
Yeah, really, not a fan. Well, do you know what? It's really funny you say that because I haven't competed for a long time, and I didn't not enjoy it, but I did find it very stressful.
Yeah.
And, it was very nerve-wracking when I was on the day, but after competing, I absolutely loved it. But I got injured. I injured my knee, and I haven't competed for a long time. And me and Nick have both kind of been, well, this was our year, really. We were saying that this year we were definitely going to compete.
Yeah.
For like the first time in years. And then obviously COVID happened, so that's a bit of a relief. But but it's definitely on the cards for us again. I think that's kind of...
that's cool, man. That's cool.
I was to say, super anxious. I imagine, did you find it really like heightened anxiety before? I used to get it like weeks in advance, even though it's just some tin pot tournament as such, like little thing, like with maybe only 2 other people or something. But I used to get like super nervous and anxious about it weeks before.
Yeah, I mean, with me as well, I think I'd only been training like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, all right, I might go and compete. And then a couple of the guys were like, just compete. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get bet, and then that's it. You'll go back to the gym and you'll train. So I was like, okay, right, I'll compete.
Yeah.
I had one gi match, armbarred in like 30 seconds. And then my no-gi match, I think I held the guy in my guard for like 4.5 minutes. And then my legs got so sweaty and dead that they opened, and then he passed and won. But yeah, I mean, I was cutting for that as well. So you've got the stress of having to lose weight to enter. And yeah, so I don't really like that element of it. I mean, it was a fun experience. I don't regret doing it. But yeah, I'll just stick to the side of the mats now with a camera, filming everyone else that does it.
That's what I'm interested in. Like, 'cause this is something, a byproduct of, because we started doing this podcast like maybe a couple of months before the lockdown kind of thing, and then I think we've done about 22 or 23 like since.
Our 23rd.
Yeah, 23rd. Shout out Jamie. 3.
Yeah.
Like we've got to chat to people, so obviously, like, to our advantage in a way. Lots of everyone else is stuck doing nothing, so like we've been able to like worm our way into normally very busy people's lives.
Yeah.
Get to talk to people. So like like last time we spoke to Ashley Williams, probably the number 1 like no-gi grappler in the UK right now. Like Polaris champ, Kasai, EPI, all this stuff. And like just chatting to him about comp and goal setting and training and stuff, it's been really really G'd me up to like do stuff. And it's just, and without expecting to come, I'm not going to go to anything thinking I'm going to win this. I'm thinking that'll be a good experience to go and do some different types of training and different comps, and that will just help my jiu-jitsu in general. So it's interesting getting everyone's perspective, because that was like 2 months ago. Not a bit longer ago. I was thinking, I'm never going to compete, never ever. Like, I don't want to feel anxious, don't want to feel like that. I just want it to be fun. Now I'm like, nah, maybe the fun is the experience of doing something different out of my comfort. But it's a tough one, isn't it? But when you hear some of these guys talk, you just go, yeah, I want to do that too. Like,
but then I guess if you've had a bad experience, you don't want to go back to something like that. But yeah, I get it.
It is difficult. I think it really is, and I might, change my tune. I don't think I will, but I might change my tune in the terms of my anxiety will be heightened again when there is a competition.
Right before you step on the mat, you change your tune.
Oh my God, it's like going on a roller coaster, isn't it? When you get to the front of the queue, and then it's like, oh shit, I've actually got to do it. So that's interesting. Go on, Sam.
Oh yeah, sorry. So did you learn like your videography? Did you have any kind of experience with cameras before, or was it literally just pick up a GoPro, film what you can, and then figure it all out afterwards?
Yeah, I'd always sort of film stuff on my phone, but I always looked at it, you open up the camera app and you press record. That's as much as my knowledge. That's as much of the knowledge that I had. However, when it came to the jiu-jitsu stuff, it did start off with just doing that, press record. The camera knows what settings I want to use.
Yeah.
So I'll let the camera decide. And then the more I got into it, I'm like, okay, right, he really needs to be a lot brighter in this shot. I can't really make him out, or, he's too bright, and I need to be able to control that. So then it just started, learning the camera settings and learning the camera that I had.
Yeah.
So that I was able to control what got recorded rather than the camera telling me what was right.
Yeah.
And then it just went on from there. I never had any experience before. It was literally all learnt from YouTube and networking as well. I'd went to a few meetups with other videographers around the country.
Oh, wow.
Talk cameras and stuff like that as well, and all sort of talk on Instagram and stuff. And just share, if I'm having problems with this, they would give me feedback on it. And then the next video that I did would implement that feedback, and then it would just sort of progress from there.
Oh, that's a great idea. I never even thought about actually talking to somebody else about it.
Yeah.
I can figure it all out for myself with loads of stress.
Well, you've got a contact now.
I've got a contact now. That is exactly.
You'll find Sam in your inbox, Jamie, all the time.
Daily.
That is not a problem.
7 o'clock in the morning.
That is not a problem. That's one thing that I have found with sort of the creative industry in general, not just videography, but when I initially was learning, it always felt like a bad thing to sort of message someone and go, can you help me with this? Am I doing something wrong? So I'm like, maybe I should just, do what everybody else does and just go on with it and learn. Yeah. But, it helps so much to have another set of eyes watch something, and then I just give that constructive criticism afterwards and go, you could have maybe have changed this, or, that clip's a wee bit too long, maybe shorten that a wee bit, or it's too overexposed and too dark, or whatever it may be. So networking and speaking to people and asking for the help massively did help improve things. I'd reached out to, way back when I started, I'd reached out to Stuart Cooper a few times, cool. Just to go, I love your work, all the stuff you usually do say. It'd be cool if you could. Sorry, what is it? Did
he reply?
I can't remember. I think he did. I think he's been pretty good at replying.
Oh, that's great.
And it'd be pretty cool if you could look at this video and all that sort of stuff. But I just sort of, I just sort of took it as it came. When I first started, it was sort of like a passion project, if you like. Mm-hmm. I was just recording because the teammates wanted that. It was cool for me to go back home and edit some stuff up and then give it to them, and then they would like it. And then went to a few events and then filmed them competing, made a wee highlight video out of that, and then gave it to the event organizer. And then I would ask to go back to the next one, and then I would go to the next one, make a specific highlight video for them. I think Scottish Grappling is actually like one of the team there are absolutely amazing, and the fact that they've allowed me to go to all these events and just film stuff for them, and then over time I've just managed to build that relationship with them. And whenever they're looking for a videographer, I'm now the first name that sort of pops into their head.
That's brilliant.
Which is pretty cool.
It's funny this, because obviously me and Nick went to a Grappling Industries event just before the COVID crisis lockdown, literally just before. But I never even thought about messaging ahead and going, do you mind? Do you want, or even afterwards, I didn't even think about going, do you want the footage? Because I've edited it all together and just put it on YouTube and was like, I'm sure they'll appreciate that if they see it. But they might actually want that for promotional purposes, or some of the footage for their promotions. And I didn't even think about doing that. So that's something.
Yeah. The one thing that worked really well for me was if I put something up on, I think at the time I'd started putting stuff up on YouTube, but I knew that brands and stuff, they don't really use YouTube as much. It's more sort of Facebook and Instagram.
Right.
So I started putting them up on Facebook and then just tagging whoever ran said event. And then they would share it, and it sort of just took off from there, with people sharing it. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's a wee bit of a demand for this up in Scotland.
It's funny. There's a demand everywhere. It's a funny one, because people love, the reason why I started doing it, the reason why I kind of started filming, there's a bit of I was having a lot of time off, and I was like, I basically needed something to do with my time, and I love jiu-jitsu. And again, like you said, I was watching fitness vlogs and people, and like that vlogging style, which I really loved. And I was like, what I would love is to be able to film the guys in the community of the jiu-jitsu that's in jiu-jitsu specifically, because you get such a wide range of people, and from all different walks of life, with all funny stories. Like, there are some really funny guys in the gym, and I just wanted that to come through, rather than, because all I ever saw was just like hard rolls and the competition sparring, or the top level guys who had those really cool videos. But I wanted to show it from like a club level, like from just a really the everyday guys that go to jiu-jitsu, the club guys, and that's what I wanted to come across in my videos. But it's really tough. It's a hard thing, but I think that's what fascinated me. It shocked me that no one was doing it before. You know,
definitely.
Like, maybe there is someone.
I completely agree. The same way. Like, Stuart Cooper's really known because of the names that he's shot with.
Yes.
Which is amazing. But again, the same way that you were thinking, there's no one really shooting the smaller guys, the guys that are going to the local events, and really busting everything they can to get the win and get their name known within the community. It's something that I would say more so over the past year and a half, I've been trying to really work with some of the guys in the gym that I train at. And one of the guys just now, I think they messaged me not too long ago and said that because of the videos that I've been doing for him and sort of putting out on there, I hope he's actually secured a sponsorship out of it, which is pretty cool. So I've been telling a few of the guys, that they want to go on these big shows like Polaris and Grapple Fest and stuff. And it is all about that social media content. And the best thing that I can do is video them competing or whatever, and try and make a wee highlight out of it. So any event I go to, if they're there, I'll try and make sure and video their matches specifically, and just to sort of give them that wee edge and help them out a wee bit. It must be so handy for guys who want to compete all the time to get to have a really good looking highlight video of themselves to promote to those kind of promotions. It's got to be invaluable, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Jack Brown, who it is that I was speaking about, he's now been on Grapple Fest as well now, which was a massive accomplishment for him. And I don't want to get too big ahead, but I would like to think that's down to my videos. and it must be slightly to do with his jiu-jitsu. Of course. Yeah, no, it is. No, they're all good guys that I train with. I say train with, not trained in a while, but they are all a good bunch of guys that I try and help and stuff as well. And I just feel that video is a really good way of doing that, a good way of telling a story.
Yeah.
Well, I've trained at your gym, Jamie.
Oh, really?
I've trained at your gym. Marcos.
Yes.
Marco, yeah. In Glasgow, when like every year I go up to Scotland for a week to stay with friends, and we usually stop in Glasgow to stay with some friends there for a night. And so last year I was like, right, I'm taking my gi because I'm going to go and train in Glasgow. So I don't know where yet. And I like just looked up like where, messaged him. He messaged me straight back. I was like, yeah, come down, no problem at all. I was like, all right, wicked. So I went down on a. Can't remember, it was you guys you did an open mat first, then the class after, which was strange because I'm not used to rolling for like an hour and something and then doing a class afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went down. There was like must have been 40 people training. There's a lot of people training. Yeah, really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Rolled up. Everyone was super friendly. It's super fun. I'm definitely going to be. Yeah, it was last August, so I'll definitely be going. If we're allowed out in August this year, we'll be going to Scotland. And I'll try and stop
fingers
by.
Crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but no, like when I was checking out some of your videos, I was like, I've been there. Like, and he's a nice guy as well. He said like we contacted him before like lockdown, and we were going to go up to Scotland on purpose to train back at your gym, like to do a podcast to him as well. Yeah. So hopefully we'll still get to do that. But like,
and I was going to ask to film some of the footage of the class as well, but I don't think I will now. I think I'll leave it to the camera on the end of a twiglet.
But yeah, no, you're the legit guys there for sure. Like, there's some super hard training was going on. Yeah, and like I kind of went. You know, you go as all out as you. Well, I was doing. You know, everyone was happy to roll and everything, so I was rolling the entire time, open mat, and then it's class, and there's a long going up and down. That it's a very long, like thin, like mat space, right? Yeah. So we were doing like the sort of shrimp drills and pull rolls and stuff. It's about like 50 meters.
Yeah, he's got Marcus has got two gyms. He's got Glasgow and he's got Kilmarnock, which is round about 30-40 minutes away from the Glasgow one. So it's the Kilmarnock one that I train at most. I go to the Glasgow one every now and again, but I've been at the same time we're all the same team as well, and like you say, they're all brilliant guys and girls that all train together. Open mat before. I love open mat. I really do. I prefer open mat to class.
I was kind of like properly sweating and like feeling like, and then it goes straight into class, and I was like, oh, here we go.
I love open mat too, by the way. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I feel that I get more out of it.
Yeah, because you can drill specifically for yourself, can't you?
Yeah.
Whatever you're working on specifically, you can drill. And if there's like higher belts or there's someone there that that's got something that you want to take something from, you can pick their brains specifically, can't you? Go, you do something that I like come over here and show me it.
Most of the time, it's just me getting absolutely battered by everybody else. But, I mean, I do really enjoy it.
Normal, Jamie. That's normal.
And it doesn't change either.
No, but I've been sort of in and out in jiu-jitsu. I started off really, really strong. Like always training. I was training maybe 4 or 5 times a week. For the first maybe year and a half that I was there, and then I can't remember when it was now when it happened, but I got a neck injury, which took me out for about a year. And then after that, it was just always coming back for a couple of months and then going away for a few months and then coming back, and because when I was out for that time, that's when I really started to pick up the videography stuff. And if I can't be training jiu-jitsu, then I may as well try and get to as many jiu-jitsu events as I can, and just film the guys and try and stay in that community, because the community is brilliant. It really, really is.
Good.
And yeah, it's still, and then I had a good run of being back in training before COVID struck in. And then the COVID came and it's just completely destroyed all momentum.
It's mad, isn't it? It's so annoying.
Yeah,
no, I was like, I just filmed the grappling industry event. And I was like, I love that. I love that so much. Like, I want to do another one. Like, when's the next event? When's everyone going to the next event? And then COVID hits and we were like, oh.
Yeah.
That's cool, mate. So there's because actually I probably should have gone to your place then, because it took me like 40 minutes to get down that road in Glasgow, because I drove down like I was staying at the top and you drive down the hill like past the station all the way out the other side. It was rush hour to get there for like I was like come on.
Yeah, rush hour was not good in Glasgow.
I could have walked it, I reckon, faster. So headed to the other place for a second, but then
you would have really been knackered, Nick, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah,
40 minutes to do an open mat and then a class afterwards. You wouldn't have lasted, mate.
Mate, but it's one of those when you go somewhere else. You know what I mean? You got to last. You got to last it. You can't. Like, right, got to get through it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's good that you actually took your gi though and decided to train even while you were up here. Most of the time when I go places, you know, I have the idea of training, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to. Can't be bothered.
Get away from the family, isn't it? You know, I'm going. They're like, oh, but no, see you later. I'm off. Come on, just one night.
I'm the opposite. As soon as I leave and I go somewhere else, I just forget that there is other places to train at.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I've left. There's gyms back home. There's no way I can go train anywhere else. I just don't take my gi.
What, like when you were outside Gunnar Nelson and Haldor's gym in Iceland?
I was in Iceland, in Reykjavik, yeah, and I didn't even think about going to like. Have you seen that gym, Jamie?
I've not, no.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. It's like glass fronted, this massive gym. How many people does it?
2,700 members.
Wow.
It takes 2,700 members, so it's giant and it's built into the cliffs. It's like got saunas,
strength and conditioning.
Is
got all the goodies, and you missed it.
I know. I didn't even think about it. I was like, not anymore. This is kind of like you were saying. The jiu-jitsu community has been so good, and you know, one of the things that I wanted to do was travel a bit more and go and see other gyms and go and train with other people. And Nick's kind of always done it. And this podcast was kind of one of the reasons why we kind of started the podcast, was to talk to people like yourselves and just kind of make connections and make a bit of like
it's a broader, wider community or network of
yeah.
So that we can go out and we can go and train, and like people, like we already know the people that we're going to go train with, and then go up there and just make a thing of it.
Yeah.
You want to come down and film, like, you know, events in London or anything like that, like find somewhere for you to stay. Do you know what I mean? Come down.
Yeah.
Videos and stuff. Like
I broke my way into into England last year. With the BJJ 24/7 events.
Oh, amazing.
I started doing, I think I got in touch with Lawrence sometime last year, and I just asked, you know, could I come down and film one of your events for you? I think I was heading down anyway with one of my friends who was competing. So I was like, I may as well take my camera with me, film an event, and now I do the sort of north side of England. So I do like Manchester, Blackpool, they sort of events when he's got them running. And then it's pretty good. I've been able to get about with the camera. Another guy that's helped me a lot actually runs the grapple club, Josh Howe. He's helped me tremendously in moving things forward, because he used to do the BJJ 24/7 events. So that was my contact in. And as I said, it all started off with networking, you know, getting to know other people that done it or are still doing it. Network with them, get chatting and see sort of how it goes. And I've done more than just jiu-jitsu as well, so it's been a good one so far.
Yeah, I mean, and especially with the jiu-jitsu community, because everyone's so nice.
Yeah.
Like everyone's so nice and so open and friendly. It's so easy. Like what we found is, we started off with our podcast. We just started off people in our club just chatting like we do, because the whole idea of this is after training, me and Nick would go and sit in a coffee shop for like an hour and a half, just chatting about jiu-jitsu. We're like, why don't we talk to other people and like make a thing out of it? Like I'm sure other people would like to like,
Yeah.
listen to just chat. I like listening to jiu-jitsu podcasts. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where we started. And then we were like, why don't we so after that we were like, let's just ask some people if they wanted to come on. And then the more people we asked, it's surprising how many people just come back and like, yeah, of course.
That's pretty good. Yeah, no, that's pretty good, man. And like you say, because it's lockdown as well, you'll get a lot more people just sitting about at night, just not doing anything. So
oh, definitely. There's no way these guys would have time for us otherwise.
It's cool. It's cool that I'm pretty much honest. I think that a lot of them probably would be like, yeah, I'd love to, but I'm super busy at the moment. Maybe in like 3 months or something like that. I mean, we've managed to accelerate the reach of the people who are just like Ashley. Really, I mean, mention it again, but it's like that was a great just chatting to him, picking his brains, just to chat, and it's like there's no agenda of anyone for anything. I think it's like we're just pretty chilled, and we just want to like chat to people, and it's really interesting to find all the different angles that people have like within the sport. Like things like it's so cool because anything that's not just spreading the awareness of fighters and their performances and things for shows, but just in general, like the community, the events that go on, like the whole thing about jiu-jitsu, like some of your videos. I was watching some of your videos. You got thousands of views on some of them and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like you build up the I think the jiu-jitsu people are very loyal, and people will stick with you, want to watch your content that you're putting out because they like it, and it's about something to them.
Yeah, but we're all interested in.
Yeah, we're all interested in it. So, and everyone wants to support each other.
Yeah.
But the more footage, the more stuff that you do, and the slicker you get, and like with all these things, it's just like it can only be a great thing for the sport and like anyone associated with you, like your Power Jack gets sponsored. Do you know what I mean? That's just unbelievable. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's been good, and like you say as well, like everybody's got their own story as well.
Yes.
Some people just start jiu-jitsu because maybe their friend does it. Other people start it because they want to lose weight, or people want to learn how to defend themselves. And there's a massive range of stories that everybody's got, but there's not that many people in the country that can tell these stories in the way that they do. And it's something that I'm starting to try and do outside of the events, is be able to have a sort of segment of being able to tell someone's story. Like an interview, if you like, but not like you would expect it for their like really, really big names in the industry, where they're sitting down in their gym, you're talking to them, you've got some training footage there, some competition footage, and I sort of just saw an opening, like nobody's doing this for the guys that are trying to make a name for themselves and the guys that are trying to expand themselves and go into different territories. So yeah, I'm planning that just now.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's such a cool idea because I agree. Like that's when you watch like other blogs, like those people they could be nobodies, couldn't they? Or like you wouldn't know who they were unless they were filming themselves and they were filming their community around them. And you kind of feel like when you watch them that these people. Yep. And I feel like within the jiu-jitsu community, there's such a big, like a vast and a wide range of people that do it for all different sorts of reasons, for all different walks of life. It's such a varied community that I just love. I love it when I see like people like yourselves and stuff film like local events, and you kind of get the feel like everyone knows what that feels like training at a local club. And it's like there's like a bit of nostalgia about it. And just like familiarity, and I really like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more stories to tell of the people that are just like, that love a sport, jiu-jitsu in this instance. Like, you know, I like when you talk about like telling the story of the person or the you know, the sport basically. But like, because to me, I'm interested. So it doesn't matter if it's a guy from the gym or if it's, you know, a famous grappler who's competing around the world. Like, to me, that's interesting.
Another thing is good jiu-jitsu looks cool no matter who it comes from. So when you film it, especially like your videos, like when the way you film, it looks so cool, and you're like, yeah, that is.
Well, you've got perfect subjects to film and edit, right? Because like just doing, you know, you can make that into a really nice, aesthetically pleasing stuff, and you know, and get a really nice style from it.
Yeah, definitely. And then you've got the clips as well that end up going viral. I've had a couple of them so far.
Yeah.
And he'll kill me for saying it, but there was a clip, a local event, the Scottish Grappling Invitational, is something that I think it's run 4 times a year in Scotland, and it's invite only, sort of tournament style, just sub only grappling. And there was one match, and I record for that specific event. I record every single match for the full entirety of the match, so that people can watch the full thing back. And I always take wee snippets out that I can use for like wee highlight clips. And there was one that happened. It was one of my pals, Shawnee, was competing, and then the guy that he was against sunset flipped him.
Oh.
But the clip that I got had to be pretty short, and he got out the submission afterwards, and then Shawnee eventually just won the match. But it was a sunset flip that got all the hype, and it went everywhere. It went everywhere for days. And seeing things like that happen from a bit of footage that you've shot is so cool to see. It really is.
Do you know sometimes when you filmed it, if you've got like a bit of gold, do you know when you've done it? Like, and you're like, oh, yes, I'm going to use that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's harder to do in competition setting because you've maybe got 8 mats to jump between. So obviously you're filming someone, and then something catches the side of your eye, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
And then it turns out to be something quite boring that you're watching, you know, somebody just stalling for a while. But it is good when you get the wee moments that are just, you know, straight away, like that's something that people are going to watch.
Yeah.
What about the length of your videos? Like, because I've seen, you know, you use some that are like less than a minute, around a minute, couple of minutes. Is there like, is there an optimum thing that you want to get the most like stuff? Or I guess it depends what it is you're doing, but do you kind of think I want to get a minute's worth out of this and like, you know, if you've got enough from filming?
When it comes to the event stuff, I do try and do like one longer. The problem is the social media aspect of it. You've got Facebook, which is unlimited time. Then you've got Instagram, which is a maximum of a minute. And then you've got YouTube again, which is an unlimited amount of time. So when I'm creating a bit of content, primarily it's for Facebook. When it comes to an event, it's for Facebook. So I need to shoot something that's maybe 2.5, 3 minutes long enough to keep people interested, but not too long that they just click off of. It's boring. And then I try and condense that even more to Instagram. And just it's essentially the exact same video, just a lot faster paced and in the length of a minute, and then stick that on Instagram. And then when it comes to shooting for clubs, it's all, I try and give it a mix of sort of everything, like an overall sort of club highlight, some interviews that they can throw on Facebook for sort of like testimonials, and then throw in some Instagram specific content for them as well that they can use for their business page and stuff.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes you've got such a lot that you want to use that you could easily do like 20 minutes worth of footage, but no one's going to watch it. No one's going
definitely
to watch it for 20 minutes. It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. The first thing I always do when I bring back all my footage is go through it all and take out all the submissions, because that's the first thing that, as I said before, like everybody just wants to see the action.
Yeah.
They're not interested in someone, pulling guard. So I take out all the submissions and then I see.
Yeah. No one's going to be highlighting your fights, mate.
What do you mean?
No, you're right though. You are right. It's
winning by advantage. What's wrong with
that?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
No, I only lose by advantage or submission. Don't really win anything.
Yeah.
Do you ever get anyone?
Sorry, Nick.
Do you ever get anyone that says like, "Right, I know you filmed that, and I got submitted. Please don't put that in."
Yeah.
So like the
I've never had anyone message me saying don't put that in. I've had people afterwards in the comments go, "Oh, there we go, another highlight of me getting like submitted again," or and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's it might be a highlight of you getting submitted, but it's also a highlight of someone else putting the submission on.
There's something said for being submitted in a really, really cool way, though, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also had
Reynolds who I triangled at open mat once.
I have also had people message me as well, asking me like they've lost the match, but they've messaged me afterwards going, "Can you make a highlight video of that?" And the first time I was ever asked about it, I was a wee bit thrown back. I'm like, I don't really know how to make a highlight video of that. I can do this and I can do that, and the feedback I got from that was essentially, it's for me to look back on. Like I might have lost the match, but it was a good match, and I want something to sort of remember that by.
I can see that though as well, like because in competition, like you may have a super good fight, lose, and that's your only fight, but you think, right, well in that I swept this guy, I did this, I did that, and there's some really cool stuff in there, like whether you win or you lose, you've got that you've achieved some stuff within that bout, you know, and so it essentially like because I can't come to sort of view these things slightly differently now as rather than a winning or losing, but the performance that you put out when you're doing it. And so if you have a great match, you lose, like, well, I can still use that in my like personal highlight reel as such, because it's the things that you're doing in your performance. So that's pretty cool. Like
and you can analyze what you've done.
Yeah. So, but I know this like I can see it from that, like analysing what they did wrong and mistakes and things like that point of view as well. And I think that's probably quite important because, if you're competing a lot, whatever level it is you're competing at, like without putting eyes on yourself, it's very hard to know, like, because you kind of think, oh, I do this, and you think, someone goes, no, you don't, you do this, and that's wrong. But you think, no, I don't, with that, when you see it, you go, oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
it sort of goes back to the same way. Sorry to interrupt there.
That's all right.
It sort of goes back to the same way of me doing videos as well. Starting off and putting the really rubbish ones up, and then at the time I was like, maybe I don't want to do that. But now when I look back on them, and again the same with the training footage or competition footage, you look back on it and you've learned something from it, and progressed in some way.
Yeah, you see, not just from your perspective, when you watch from your first videos to your videos now, you can see how far you've progressed, which is often not shown, is it? Especially on social media and things like that. People
you only get the gloss, sheen, the gloss,
the stuff,
hard work and progression.
Yeah, we talk about the mountain, like the iceberg, don't you? You only kind of see what's poking out of the water.
Yeah.
Underneath, there's this whole mountain, like masses of ice underneath the water, and that's all the hard work that goes into it. And it's kind of cool to see, even if it's just for yourself. But I think it's cool to see from an outside perspective that hard, like the changes.
Yeah,
how
definitely.
Much better you've got.
They weren't that bad though, Jamie. By the way, they weren't.
No, they're not at all.
It's definitely. I like the iceberg reference, because it is. as you say, when you go on Instagram, anything you put on Instagram, it's just, you know, what I choose people to watch, or the best bits, if you like.
Yeah.
But it's so hard at times to stick something on that you know you're going to get criticism for.
Yes.
That's maybe, you know, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm personally trying to do a wee bit better in putting, you know, this is something that I made, or this was the process of doing it, and this is the finished product.
Yeah.
It's important for everyone to see that, though, I think. Like, lots of people will watch your stuff, and there'll be lots of people who will be like, I like that, and I could do something like that. It might be something else, even another sport, another whatever. But it just, I think, like, it's a good thing to encourage people to do anything. Like this is the thing. Like when you're saying, looking back at the old fights and stuff when we were doing that, it's like great. Like Ian's a black belt. You know, competed from white every grade all the way through. Looks back and he's like, oh man, I don't recognise that guy competing. But that's part of, you've got to go through every stage of doing something, right? You can't just go, oh, suddenly I'm a black belt. Look, here's some competitions of me being really good.
Yeah.
And for other people as well. Like they might see your stuff and it's so good, and they're like, I'll never be able to do that. I'd love to be able to do it, but I'll never be able to do it. But then if they, you know, see the progression or what it takes to get there, they might be like, well, you know, that's not unattainable. I could try it, and then I can get somewhere. Seeing the progression is important, I think. And I get that. It's I'm gonna say it again, but like one of the things that I've always sort of looked up to people in the community. Obviously Stuart Cooper being one of them. Watching his stuff, he's been a massive influence on what I've created and sort of that. And I'd always thought, you know, maybe I'll meet him one day. Maybe I will. And I had the ultimate fanboy experience ever when he was at the last Grapple Fest, and I was talking to him and stuff, and got a picture, and he was sitting beside me. I was taking photos, and he was beside me doing videos. Was he massive?
He looked absolutely hench at Grapple Fest, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I saw him. I was like, That was a good match as well. That was a really good fight he had. Yeah,
it was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I like that. I like that tournament as well. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was the first Grapple Fest I'd ever been to as well. A very, very good structure. I really like how he's putting them together.
Yeah. I like how the crowd are like literally just behind the fence, like just right round the mat.
Yeah.
Like so you're literally, it's like there's a parade going on or something in the street, and you're standing there like protesting about something. Like they're that close, aren't they? To it.
Shouting, stand up. Stand up! Posture!
Well, and that the bar's just like literally there, so you can see all the match is like tough. There's the Rutolos are fighting. And you look back and there's a few boys up at the bar just like smashing back the beers. Missing like Rutolo's on now, so it's one of the main ones. I just love the whole thing about it.
It's a really, really good event. Yeah, really good event. A wee bit saddened by the fact that COVID kicked in.
Yeah.
Because that next one, that one he was going to be throwing, I think it was that weekend there, or I can't remember when it was scheduled. With Gordon Ryan and stuff coming over as well.
Were you going to be filming that?
I was going to be taking photos there. Yeah. I was so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mate, all I can say is there's just going to be so much more, and like I think that this has given, like in a way, and it sounds really like cheesy, but I think it's like reset a lot of things and got people in a good space for some stuff as well. Like so, some of the tournaments I think and like events are just, especially in the UK now, like when there's much more up and coming stuff it seems. And they're getting the names. Like no one's too big to come on Grapple Fest, or like, do you know what I mean? It's like Polaris as well is so massive now. When you look at people come on it, it's just like it's ridiculous, really, that you can go, you know. And so I just think there's going to be more and more and more of this stuff going on, more like showcasing. And there's only so many of these things that people can fight on. So there's going to be international guys coming over, more opportunities, whatever, and like all these things. People never have like a spare $100,000 for it. So anyone that's offering to film stuff and do things, and
I think even before that, as well,
definitely.
there'll probably be some closed door events.
Closed door events, what, during this time?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how I feel about closed door events, though.
Okay.
I do like a bit of crowd action. Like Sug was really weird the other week, wasn't it? Where you can just hear everyone hitting the cage floor, and you hear them like shouting. I like the cheering, and but like I think some of them they just keep going. In the States, there's going to be this fight to win on in a week or so. I think there's a few more events.
There's one coming up. I don't know when it is though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever's fighting Nicky Ryan's being announced tonight on Who's Number One, or Fight to Win Who's Number One, or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's like cards. I mean, it's starting to get back in, I think. So it shouldn't be too long before something's going on. But it's just where and how we can get back to training again, and like what that's going to look like. Have you guys got any kind of plans or been told anything about what training might look like?
We've not been told anything yet. It's pretty much off the cards at this point. As far as I'm led to believe, Scotland are still pretty much in the same restrictions that we have been for months, whereas England have now eased off a wee bit.
Yeah, we've kind of softened it a little bit though, but it's basically everyone's just gone mad. I saw someone put up a video on our group chat for our club. There was like people on the beach the other day just fighting.
Oh yeah. George says like having just like a mass brawl on the beach.
That sounds exciting.
First time.
I watched it.
I watched it. At least there was a crowd.
There was a crowd.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Oh man, what are you looking? What's the future like of your filming stuff? Like where do you want it to go? Is it now like is it going to be? Is it now like a career? Are you finding other things filming to do it? Is it your job? What's the aim?
At the time when I started it, I wanted it to become some sort of full-time career, if you like. But I do work in IT as well, full-time, Monday to Friday. So I use like my evenings and my weekends to sort of travel and get about and do my filming. So I'm quite happy at the moment just doing that. It's I've got the flexibility there when I need it. I can put in holidays when I want to go away for a wee bit longer and stuff like that. But I mean, most events are at the weekend. So, I mean, I can travel when it comes to going down south. I travel down on the Friday, event on the Saturday or the Sunday, and then drive back up. I'm actually missing the drive so much because I've not done it in that long. But as far as where I want it to go, I'm not 100% sure. I would really, really like to go over to the States. Film something over there. Not 100% sure what, but I just want to go over to the States and do something.
Maybe the Euros would be a good one.
Yeah,
maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we go. I usually go to Poland at least once a year to train over there. Maybe we could all go one time, take and do some filming somewhere else, because we train at a couple of different clubs in Wrocław. There's a Carlson's there, and there's a Rio Grafton as well. And they're all pretty cool over there. But like, I reckon, to get some international stuff going and go a few places with some teammates or whatever, and that would be super cool. Go training.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool. I have been to a few places, not for jiu-jitsu related. I was filming some like United World Wrestling stuff in Russia and Croatia and stuff.
How did you get that gig?
that was a very spur of the moment thing.
Those Russians.
I just came down to networking again, just networking.
Yeah, it's good.
It was through Josh, who runs the Grapple Club again. He got in contact with me and just said, got a filming gig if you're interested. Went to Croatia first and it was just filming, you know, the United World Wrestling for a while. I would film and then someone else would edit, and we were there for a week.
That's handy.
Yeah, oh, it was very handy. That was an absolute breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Just filming, I can do that.
Yeah, did you film double the amount of content? Just
yeah. And then from there, I think the one after that was Russia, Siberia.
Yeah.
Filming one of the world, I think it was a World Cup. I believe it was a World Cup. But the atmosphere at the events is unreal. Wow. It's unlike anything that I've ever been to before. Ever.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with my jiu-jitsu now. Stick to the sort of local events and done Polaris a few times. I'll do Grapple Fest more. So yeah, it has been pretty good. Not sure where it will go. I just sort of take it as it comes.
Well, those things are like the biggest. They're the biggest things going in the UK, right, anyway.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. That is the pinnacle of competition. That's what every other competition show, like over here, is looking at. I mean, everyone will look at USA stuff as well, but like that, like on a realistic kind of scale, Polaris is like the gold standard, I reckon, at the moment.
Yeah. It's good as well because it's allowed me to sort of venture out a wee bit as well. So although I'm also doing video for Polaris and Grapple Fest, it's been photography, which has been really, really good. Something completely different. Yeah. I think the first Polaris I went to, I think it was like, okay, you want a photographer? I can shoot photos. I'm pretty sure I can shoot photos.
Like, yeah, I'll do that. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, I know how to do that. You just sort of you blag your way in at the start. You show that you can do it, and no, I was quite comfortable doing photos to begin with. There, that was really good. Doing that first Polaris really boosted everything for me social media wise. Yeah. Because I had people like, you know, Craig Jones following me, Lachlan Giles, you know, all the guys that I hear in jiu-jitsu all the time back then, and even now, I could just, you know, send them a DM on Instagram. It's pretty cool.
Just send either of those two one and see if they want to come on the podcast. Would be much appreciated, Jamie.
I'm sure they got
that. It's all about who you know.
It's all about who follows you as to whether they can even see the message. Is what I'm finding.
That was pretty cool, man. And it's been a good ride, man. It's been really, really good fun getting to meet new people. From like other gyms that I go and do filming for, and meeting the guys that run that, and then their students as well, and hearing the stories, you know, when I'm filming their testimonials, hearing a part of their story and why they train there. It's really good to see, and it's cool that I can capture that.
Yeah, it's really cool, and honestly, I love the videos. So yeah, keep going, man. Keep putting them out. And do me a favor.
Watch them. Subscribe and watch, Jamie Craig.
Subscribe and watch, man. We one more thing, don't leave it as long as Stuart Cooper does. I mean, how long has it been? He always leaves it like years before he does another video.
To be fair, that's a lot of issues. I've had issues as well with like copyright and stuff. So I think that's with video you need to. Yeah, with video it's an absolute nightmare when it comes down to copyright and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, Stuart says I want to get to the point where, you know, people are waiting months for one of mine, and then when they get it, they're like, you know, they're tuned in, they're watching it.
Yeah, that's what I'm like with Stuart Cooper's. As soon as it comes out, I'm like, go watch that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Do you subscribe to Flow Grappling and watch any of their documentaries they do?
I don't know. I don't, purely because I don't want to give them my cash.
I know. It was a very hard decision on my part to do, because I'm not a massive fan, obviously, but the more they are like the most consistent like output of documentary films about people and places that like I wouldn't know about otherwise, and like have the access, don't they? Right. The IBJJF stuff and whatnot. But like, do you think there's I just think there's much more room for stuff like that on a more local level within the UK. Like, you know, when you go
there really is. It's just trying to get the people that want to participate in doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've found that it's quite easy for me to film the guys in the gym because I've been around them for so long.
Yeah.
They're used to me having the camera around. So if I ask them, look, I've got this idea, do you want to do it? Like, can I tell your story? Are you willing to get on camera and tell me that? And they're quite open to doing that. But the stuff that Flow Grappling do, like, again, that's with like really well-known people. You know, they're used to having the camera in the face, and they're used to that sort of I don't know what words I'm looking for here.
Yeah,
I know. I think in the States they're a little bit further forwards than us in this area as well, like in the terms of the sport and like the athletes earning some money and this and that. I mean, you know, lots of the guys here, they've got to do a lot of stuff to earn a living doing it, you know, and maybe be teaching as well at the same time. I just like, you know, talking to lots of different people from lots of different places. I just like, I want to know more and see more about what they're training like, what the gyms are like, what the guys like training, who, you know, levels of people and this and that, what sort of techniques they're doing and stuff. So I guess, you know, you get that in the competitions all around the country. You'll see trends sooner than I will, you know, because what people are doing in the competitions and like what's, you know, what levels are. It's like like you've got a really good window on like how UK Jiu-Jitsu is progressing and what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm jealous of that.
Well, we get to see it, Nick. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah. But I sort of started watching some videos earlier, you know, and you go, oh, right, I'm going to stop watching these videos now. I'm going to go and make the kids learn. You know, but it's like,
you do end up going down a big dark deep hole of just clicking on the next video and then the next video, and then before you know it, you're a day in.
It's like piped into your brain very pleasurably and aesthetically pleasing. That's the hardest part, trying to make jiu-jitsu look amazing.
I think that's the easy part, but I'm biased. Jiu-jitsu does look amazing to me. It all looks amazing.
It's hard if you were filming my jiu-jitsu. That'd be, you know, that's be very short clips.
Out there, mate, is there?
Just like
that. Holding on for dear life. Well, Jamie, it's been absolutely awesome having you on. We'll wrap that up there, but thanks so much for coming on. And is there anyone, have you got any sponsors or anything you want to shout out? Any shout outs you want to do while we're on here?
I wish I had sponsors. If anybody wants to sponsor me. I'll just shout out to my coaches, Marcus. Shout out to Marcus. Shout out to Stuart Cooper as well for being the massive inspiration it has been. And they'll kill me for not giving them a shout out, but they'll know who they are. So I'll shout out the Wolfpack as well. It's the wee group that we've got together. We all talk jiu-jitsu and filming and stuff, so it's pretty cool that we've got that.
That's really
cool. And yeah, thanks very much for having me on, guys. It has been honestly, really good.
It's been so interesting. Thank you so much.